Hey dreamers, this is Jechta Plays, and today we're going to continue with the community gem Santa's Secret. And I'm not sure if it will stay still the secret because I don't know when I'm going to upload this, of course. But can you already guess? Have you already guessed whose creation this is? I think maybe it's a little bit hard to tell from this point already, but but I think that the person that I have got picked up, if he or she is seeing this creation, they could probably go to like, wait a minute, this looks familiar. But yeah, we're going to continue. What we did in the previous video, we did the windows, we did the stripe. I wanted to make it like a very clean version. In the official release of this creation, it's a little bit more toned down in the graphics thermo, and simply because it's a super big open world. I'm not saying like an open world game, but you can fly around, and the scale is bigger, and so that's why it probably is it's a little bit had to lower down the graphics thermo, which is of course logical, of course, makes sense. But I'm going to sort of remake this version so they can still see hey, this is my game, or this is that basically where the game starts. But I'm going to make it a little bit a remake version, basically putting a little bit more details in here and there without losing the overall quality or without losing the overall style and vision and design that this person made. I don't want to lose that. I'm just going to make it a little bit more, let's say, sharper. Because I'm not going to make the whole game, of course, because that's something that I'm not going to do. But I'm going to make a sort of I'm not sure if you can walk inside of it, but maybe I will do it camera wise, maybe more of a cinematic way, because the person also makes very beautiful cinematic creations. I have watched a few stuff what they have been made so far in Dreams, and it does do a lot of also cinematics as well. Besides making video games, they also do cinematic versions in their creations, and I kind of want to maybe do that. So you're not going to walk inside of it, but I think maybe going to do in camera panning, in a cinematic way, going through the tunnels with maybe I don't know. I really need to see how much time I have, of course. At the moment now, we still have 2.5 weeks, so that's still not a lot of time still for me. Well, actually not, but it should be enough time at least to make something decent out of this. So yeah, and that's what I'm going to do. So without further ado with the intro, let's start straight away, shall we? All right, and you also should hear now the PlayStation 4 audio, which I didn't do on the previous video. Sorry for that. All right, so this one we only made one different version, is this one. It will of course rise up extra graphics thermo, sadly. But the good thing about it is we're not going to make a game, so don't have to worry about the graphics thermo as much, because we're not going to make a game out of this. We're going to make a cinematic experience, because that's what this person is. It's his profession. So we're going to recreate his scene. All right. I think the thing what we're going to do next is probably going to be already a little bit more recognized for the person that made this, because there's one thing he or she is going to recognize 100% for sure, that it's their creation. But first we're going to make the floor. No, actually we're not going to do that. Or am I going to do this? Am I going to make the floor? It's really hard to see what the floor is made of. It looks like the floor is one very simple square. Basically it's not like this, but basically it's like this. That's that without the windows, without anything weird. This is basically their floor. Now, for people that know me, I don't think I'm going to go for this as well, because like I don't like super simple blocks on blocks on blocks. So like this is actually the floor that I've been doing, and like so, and then on the other side the same way, but then without the window parts. I mean, I think I'm just because like we're going to make a remake version of this, right? So what we're going to do is like we're going to make it, or we make it so that it looks like it's a remake of this scene. So that's what we're going to approach for. So what type of ground are we going for? I think we can go for some tiles and like marmor looking tiles. Maybe that's maybe a way to do it. So let's see, and let's see what we can do with that. Graphics turbo is going to be maybe, I'm not saying an issue, but it's going to be a challenge. Let's say that. I almost want to resize this, but let's not do that yet, because like I kind of want to use the mirror mode for this, so we can speed up the process. Oh wait, not like this. Like so. I want to make it a little bit bigger. But make it so it's still, of course, in the center as well. All right. Is this big enough for it to make tiles on? The question is like how big I'm going to make the tile. I want to make like of course the floor is going to be like still white, but more grayish. Okay, so I probably need to like figure it out, like, or not like figure it out, but like see what the best solution is for this. And I want to make it so that the tiles are very small, close to each other. Something like this. And then like, let's not do it like with manual. Let's do it actually with like with yeah, I was afraid of this was going to happen. Wait a minute. Let me redo this, because the best way to do it is just like with grid snap, because like it's easier to make the other tiles next to each other, basically. Is that too big of a line? I don't know. Maybe a little bit smaller, but are we losing quality? I think this is fine, but I don't know. I'm afraid that this one is too big of a gap in between. I mean, like, it can be. Let me see if we can stretch this. But then we will probably going to result in the same, yeah. I will go for this. I think that this is totally fine. But I think I still need to have like 16. Oh boy, we wait. Does it mean that like the tile is maybe not in an? I think that's the reason why. Oh boy, oh boy. Maybe I should start over. Because it's not really what I want, to be honest. Oh wait. I did something stupid. We did it on 32, of course, not on 16. There you go. I was like, why is not like that's a lot better. All right. Good. I can maybe reuse this as to have something like as a ceiling. Probably going to reuse that. All right, so now what we need to do, like, I'm trying to make like as much possible in one sculpt. And yes, it's going to increase graphics thermo. It's obvious that that was going to happen. But like I said, let me put on the thermo for on for always so we know exactly what we are doing. We are 15% now in the graphics thermo, which is pretty a lot. But it's necessary. And the good thing about this one is we can just like clone it. And okay, so it makes bigger tiles in the... Ooh, is that something that I want? Not really. But they don't really have an option for that. What I can do is I can do it like this. And then make it short, a shorter version. I mean, it's totally fine if there's one tile like not the same as the other one. Got to be a little more trickier for this. I think that's a better solution. And yeah, the only thing we need to change then is trying to squeeze this one here. Like so. All right. Then we all need to wait, what? Okay. All right. Why is it that oh wait, huh? Oh, wait, what did I do here? Oh, I see what I did. Oh, wait a minute. I can do it like this. Not like that, but ooh, that's going to be visible, isn't it? Ain't it? Yeah. No, it's not. There you go. And we need to make this the same size. So it should be. Let me also remove this one here. Oh. Because we now clone is up. And let me see if this is... I'm not sure if this is like the right way to do it, but there's only one way to figure it out. Okay, what happens now if we clone this next to each other? That will leave a bigger... okay. There are a few things that is not like super nice to do. Like the reason why I'm like spending a little bit more time on the tiles, we're like, I want to make the tiles as efficiently as much as possible, so we can reuse this later on in the whole scene. So yes, this one is going to be a little bit more like detailed, but the bright side of this is then like yeah, well, it's also rising up graphics term right now, but that's not the bright side of it. But what? How much graphics are we now? 23. My gosh. That's a lot, but that's because like we have that one. 16. All right. So this is the tile. What? Let me see. What is smart? What is smart? Because like if we clone this, wait a minute, it worked. It did it. I did it. Right. Nice. Okay, so all we need to do is, oh yeah, we're going to remove that one as well. Costs 2 extra. So let me make these 2 clonables, and then we're going to paint it. I'm not going to put mirror on it, because that will look very weird. We're going to use, well, the sort of same Y that we used before, but I'm going to layer. What I'm going to do, I'm going to layer it. So we're going to make it layer on it. This is going to be a little bit maybe tricky if we're doing it like that, but if you don't know what I mean with layering, like I'm not going to let it stay like this, right? Because like this is like super obvious, right? But we're going to layer it with our sculpt. So first of all, we're going to do a little bit more shininess. I would say 40% maybe, and metal 25. Now that is not going to be like also like sign on this one, sadly. So we have to redo this clone. It's also probably like we're not going to get like the same way of like stuff here. All right, now that we have like cloned this, we're going to paint it, and we're going to do serve snap, and then we're going to do, are we going to use mirror for this? We can maybe let's not do mirror mode, because I'm afraid that we're going to see a little bit too obviously that it's like it's so what we're going to do, we're going to make it opacity super low, subblend a little bit like this, and maybe we can put a hole inside. And make it an oval. Make it smaller. Going to spin it a little bit. And this we're going to paint on the tiles a little bit. It is maybe still a little bit too dark. I don't know. Maybe subblend needs to be a little bit harder than. So just going to do a little bit of the corners of the tiles. Like so once that everything is like that, we're going to like layer it on top of that again. Like we're doing it like layer on layer. So maybe now it looks like a little bit weird, but I will guarantee you it's going to look a little bit better once we have done all of them, hopefully. And I probably need to tweak still the settings as well. Like it's not still like too obvious, right? So what you need to do is like what we can do is like we can tune this a little bit more up, so like it's like so, a bit more on the red side, maybe a little bit. I don't know. That's something like we have to tweak a little bit later on. But first, I'm going to like make it layers. I'm also going to make the tiles like we're going to like texture the tiles as well itself. Painting is so fun. Always like it's really one of the like the most satisfying part. Okay, here we have a little bit of like it is going to be a little bit of an issue here, so we have to be careful not to touch the border that much. Because otherwise you're going to see it. That was a little bit tricky. Try to do it just manually as possible. More handwork. Doesn't have to be that super precise. It can be a little bit over the edges. Alright. So now this like probably not look so good, right? But don't worry, we're going to fix this. So what first we're going to do is, and I'm going to use this for the wedge. I'm going to make a hole in it. So. And opacity, yes. Subblend, no. Like we don't want subblend on this. And hopefully it's going to do what I want to do. Now we can maybe stay it in this. Maybe a little bit more opacity because like we're really not seeing what we're doing here. Okay, that's a little bit too much. It's a little bit tricky though. I'm going to try to make some texturing over the tiles. Some scratchy textures. The problem is like with like longer painting, of course, it's going to rise up. Graphics thermo, but I don't really have to be like so worried about texture. Of course, like graphics thermo as much. Of course, I do have to like worry about it a little bit, but it's not going to be in game. It's just going to be like a remade version of an existing game in Dreams by this person, the person who made this. And since it's not going to be a remake of the game, but it's going to be a element of the game from like a part of the game, basically. So a section of part of the game where it takes place, and that's what I'm going to recreate. My monitor is a little bit like dirt, so that's all like it's really hard to see the real stripes on the texture, or if I'm looking at the dirt on my monitor. I really need to clean up my monitor, by the way. It's really good visible when I'm seeing it on the white. I really need to clean up. But we're going to just like make scratchy like texturing on the surface, on those tiles. I could have used mirror mode for this, but I'm not doing it because like I'm a little bit afraid that's going to be like too obviously when we're going to clone it multiple times. So I kind of want to avoid that. And since it's not like super of a big thing, and it's not done, of course, because like we still missing light, and we still miss like there's still a lot of things we still need to do on this. But we still have the time. Painting is I really love painting because like painting is like make the sculpture come alive, basically. I know that like people that like can bring out super quick games in Dreams, not like mostly skipping this part, because of course it's easier to do like make rectangles and use shapes and forms, and that's it, with maybe a little bit of like painting on it, and then like it's done, right? And yes, of course it works, but if you put like a little bit more effort, or like not more effort, but like more time into your creation, it will look so much different than what it is. And that's why painting is so important, like painting your painting skill, like textures. And yes, it's not always that easy, because like texturing is super hard to paint. That's why a lot of like game developers are just like making it in Photoshop and like put it as a texture on it. It's just so much easier, right? Or make a photo outside of grass and put it onto a material, and we cannot really do that in Dreams. We have to paint everything, all the textures, we need to repaint it. So yeah, that's not easy, you know? But I understand that. But it does give you a lot of like that perspective of like the scope itself. Like it makes we're going to do the same with like this one is also very straightforward right now. Like there's not really much shading going on, like dirt or stuff like that. But we're going to actually like shade the whole the walls as well. So like everything is going to connect to each other. That's what we're going to do. And of course my graphics probably going to rise eventually, because we're painting quite long already on this. I try to tap quickly, so I'm not like using too much paint on each tile, but I'm 100% sure we're going to hit 100% we're going to hit it eventually. I hope not, because I kind of want to maybe make another layer on this, depending on like how much we have left in thermal wise. But let's see. There's only one way to find out. That's by doing it. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Speed up a little bit the process here and there. A little bit time consuming. I'm not sure if this is actually like maybe a little bit too boring to watch this. If you're still watching, of course. If you already are gone, you're probably not hearing me saying this, but but I can understand like people maybe not like want to see this whole process. You know, like it's so time consuming, and I totally can get that. But it's a very necessary part. It's a very important part. And once we have like all the light settings in, and I'm going to try to make it like I'm also going to be maybe a little bit like going outside my comfort zone, because like I try to make it not like realistic or anything like that, but I'm trying to do like something maybe that I not really have done as much in my previous creations. So it's also for me a little bit of like going out of my comfort zone, you know. But I'm almost done. What we can do with now that we also have like you're probably while watching this, and you're probably like, oh, you're probably already on the keyboard and saying, Jechta, you can also use texture mode of sticker mode. And I'm like, yes, I am well aware. Probably we're going to do it. The only issue with sticker mode is that like it can flicker a little bit if we're going to make it too how say like too detailed. So it's a little bit of like trickery, but we can definitely use some sticker mode for this as well, for the extra detail, of course. And we're going to 100% do it. Going to do these styles still. There's a little bit of a line going on here. I don't think, yeah, I can try to morph it a little bit away with the painting. That's one way to do it, right? Oh. But yeah, it is what it is. I can maybe think of something else to like. I'm maybe not going to see it in the long run, because we're still going to tweak the sculpture itself so like it fits the need in the whole scene. All right. There it is. Now it looks not so great, right? But we're going to tune and tweak it. Oh, before we're going to do this, we are going to use a text gadget for our ground. Let's not do it like that. Let's do text gadgets. Because I still want to make sure that we can grab it if we're going to tweak it later on. Don't want to have it like it's a little bit on the side, but a little bit up as well. Like, come on, there we go. And we're going to call this towel. There we go. And it's going to be in the scene. We're going to use sticker modes, and are you going to allow rotation? Maybe not. I'm going to make a color. Oh, I'm not connected to the Dream server. Always happening. I'm going to make an obvious color right now so you can see what I'm doing. This is of course not going to be the color, obviously. Let me remove the grid snap, and we also need to remove the auto fit. There we go. And now we can like tweak this. There's like a few ways we can do. What we can do is we can put it on the whole scene like this. Right, so there's like one text gadget doing its thing. We can also say like maybe it's like on each style, so that we have to put it into this here, so it only affects There you go. So it only affects this, right? And then we like need to clone. That's the way to do it. I think I'm going to do it like this because then I only need to adjust one time, and I think that's the best way. Now we need to figure out which texture we're going for, and I think we need to something like stripes-ish, or maybe like this. Of course, not in blue. And we need to remove the text opacity. I don't know what my imp is doing right now. Wait. Come on. Alright, and now we need to... Let me see what we can... I'm not really sure which one is the best way to go for. Oh, I kind of like this as in texture. Make it a little bit bigger. And now we only need to have the opacity a little bit lower. Wait, if I do it like this, it gets darker? Why is that? Why is it getting darker if I do it like this? Because the border was still on. I was like, what the heck is going on? All right. So something like that. All right. I think that looks okay. That looks not so bad. If I can say that to myself. Now I all need to see if we can like tweak this tone a little bit better. I think like maybe 15%. Like we did a little bit too much of the metal. We still want to have like it's glinstering, of course. But I don't want to make it too obvious. So 40% it's fine, I guess. And this is going to be 75. So we're not going to lose too much of like its. We still need to. I need to kind of grab the sun gadget and see how it's like looking in certain lighting. We can definitely go for this. I'm not hating it. I think that the reflection is as it should be. Yeah, definitely not hating it. All right. Let me remove the sun for now. And we need to clone. Clone. Let me see how that looks if it's got cloned together. Nice. This feels so good. It feels very good. All right. And now we can clone it in the depth. There you go. I think that's quite like this, like the thing what I was like talking about. Not sure if you can see it on the video, but because of like the layer of like the text gadget of like the sticker mode, you can see like it having like a little bit of like a weird raster and glitchy. You can also see it here, by the way, but here you can especially see it, and that's because it's so far away, right? And it probably has to do something with anti-aliasing and stuff like that because it's so close on the surface. But since we're going to have a camera panning over this whole scene, it's going to look good anyway. I do see something maybe I wanna fix, because I can see that there's like a middle section doesn't have the proper shading still, so probably we're going to fix that. Let me see if we can fix that. So we need a square. With a hole inside. Stretch this out. There we go. It's going to be a little tricky. Because I don't want to like see that like this line is super clean. It needs to fit as well. But the reason why we're seeing it like this is because like it's blending to each other. So I kind of want to make sure that like it's it needs to have texture as well, right? Otherwise it doesn't make any sense. I don't think I did, one sec. I think I forgot something to do. I forgot to clone. Is this better? I don't know. Let me see. Oh, are we still having that weird stripe? Yeah, we're still having it a little bit. Yeah, exactly the spot where we stopped. Where we stopped doing that. All right. Remove the grid snap. And just continue what we were doing. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Man, it's because like we make it also on the other side paint, right? So you're going to see it. It's almost like it's not really preventable. But again, I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Blend it in. It's better blend in, I guess. I assume you can still see the lines a little bit here, but that's because like it's hovering over each other. I can maybe do. What I can do. I can cheat a little bit for myself and put it like this. Then the issue is gone. And then go back to 1-1 grid. It's a little bit cheating, but it works. All right. Yeah, we can still, although you will still see the. I think I'm not going to like having too much issue with this, to be honest. We got to put this in a grid and group. There we go. 22. I think that's about right. Maybe it goes a little bit further down the hole. I'm not sure. I really need to see. But that one is done, which is pretty nice. So what we're going to do is the other side. So, and this will rise up graphics again, 100% sure. Because on the other side, there's also a wall, but without the window, but with the with the stripe. So we need to get rid of the stripe. Rid of the hole and the glass. Let me move this. We don't need that as well. There we go. So that's basically what is like sort of left. Yeah, well, we can get rid of this as well. I probably need to, like, how much graphics is it now? 20%. Yeah, that's a lot. But it is what it is. And then this goes. Like so. Oh, that was a little bit too far. I was a little bit too enthusiastic about that. All right, so like this is what we have. And I need to see on the original. Yeah, so it also goes on the other side as well. So we're going to copy this. I think it's like this sort of. Like so. Oh! Whoopsie daisy. Oh boy. I forgot that to do with everything. Oh no. There you go. I forgot to do the other side. Alright. And so we need to clone this again. There you go. Probably we're enthusiast again. Yep. And now we need to clone this one a few times. Like that. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. And then we need to have those tiles. This is going to be like so. Yeah, there's no other option for me to do it like this. We're not seeing this side, luckily, so I don't have to cut into the floor. And we're going to clone this one. Put this on the side. And I think in the original it is like this as well. Are these exactly in the same? No, they're not. Oh boy. Can do it like this. There's no other way for me to do it. Remove the window. It's going to rise up graphics thermo. I know. I'm really well aware of it. But we're not even halfway, and that means that I still have a lot to work around with still. So don't worry about it. Jechta will figure it out. There you go. And there you go. Alright, that's cleaned up. Because now we have like exactly the same way of like how this two are. This is also pretty like a big hole. I think I'm going to use these ones. Like so. Like so. Like so. There you go. And then we go into... Oh. Let me clone these two. There we go. Alrighty. So the floor is pretty much finished. And is it now snapping to... Oh yeah, it does. I was looking like I was wondering if it was snapping to like in the right spot, but it does. I'm not really sure like how further this one really is. It's really hard to tell, but this is actually already pretty much close for what we have. And the cool thing is we can clone this, and then we have the floor after the ceiling. I can let it like this. It's totally fine. Let me see how it looks with the sun gadgets. Like, look how different this already looks. Like it's we're like I'm not even like having any settings like with the sun gadget, but like it looks so much cool already with like the sun gadgets. And it's the only thing is that like we need to how did you do that again? Can we like change this? Yeah, we can, but that's set it to 100%. But you can still see like it's go like on these edges, right? That's something like what Dreams really is not really the best of. But maybe I can. Maybe what I can like I can think of something to maybe like that works, right? So what we can do is like we make them bigger. If you're not going to see it anyway, I can maybe like put a invisible wall is also an option. Like you can also do it like this, like make it super big. That like is blocking the sun. Like so. Right. So now like the shadows are a bit better. Is it a good solution? No, not really, but it is a solution because like it will make the corners like you get really perfect corner with the shadows. So this is a good tip for and if you don't want to see this in scene, what you can do you can say like I want to have like cast shadows always, but I'm not going to show it's not visible, right? So yes, the shadow is still casting, but so if you're like maybe like looking at from this perspective, it still looks okay because like you're not seeing the shadow, or sorry, you're not seeing the object. So if you have like panning the camera like this, you will see of course like this, right? So if you're going from the top, you will see of course that there is like shadow that doesn't make any sense. But if you have like, I'm not going to do it anyway, but if you're going to have like a shot like this and going through the hallway, you're not seeing it anyway, and you still have like a very cool like almost Unity or Unreal Engine sort of like shadows going on. So that's the way to do that. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it for here in this video. I think we did pretty much good so far. We did the floor tiling. So yeah, it's we slowly but surely we're getting there. And if the person already knows what this is, I think you can make, if you have played this game or if you played this creation before, you're probably already going to know what this is. And I'm going to close it for here. The next video, we will probably tweak a little bit better the shadows, and we're going to repaint the wall. So the wall is not going to be like this, but we're going to make it like it fits with the floor as well. So like it's a little bit dirty as well and more like worn out and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do in the next video, hopefully. And yeah, I'm not sure if like depending on like how much that work that is, and otherwise I will do of course a little bit more in the video. But stay tuned for next time, and as always, don't forget to dream, everybody. Bye bye.